Hello, everyone. My name is, well, no, that doesn't matter. But, anyways, today I'm actually starting a series. There's one thing that you may not know is that I actually really enjoy the SCP universe. I read and watch a lot of stuff about it. I actually was going to create an official SCP for the SCP 6000 tournament, but unfortunately I couldn't figure it out then. I didn't have the time to figure out how to post things on their website. And after reading through forums and going onto their official site and signing up to what I thought would allow for me to do it, still haven't figured it out. And I just don't have time to figure it out. So I'm just going to create a whole separate thing. This is going to be the SCP-NOT universe. So there isn't going to be any numerical designations for these SCPs, as they are not official in any capacity, and nor will I ever claim them to be. If you are somebody from the official website that can help me to actually post them on there, I'll do that. But you're gonna have to literally take my hand and guide me through the process. That's the whole reason behind this and why I'm doing it this way, and why the SCPs are going to be known as SCP not, because they don't have a number. Anyways, with that being said, the SCP that we're going to look at today is actually SCP not the greater good.
Revoked Studio.
Item number: Entity Alpha 1. Object Class: Euclid. Entity is located in Supplemental Containment Zone 075, 1 mile north of Orendursi, Turkey, in a 6 meter by 6 meter by 140 meter tower. Maintenance to the tower should be conducted once every 3 years, and no personnel is permitted to be within 15 meters of the base of the tower for longer than 10 minutes per day. Under no circumstances is anyone permitted to enter the entity's containment cell or look directly at the entity. No personnel is permitted to be within 350 meters for a period of longer than 40 minutes per day. Any individual that exceeds this time must be administered Class B amnestics and attend psychiatric treatments. Interviews with the entity can only be carried out by personnel with Level 4 clearance, with permission from the Provisional Site Director and one member of the O5 Council. Addendum: Entity Alpha. New Containment Procedure. Every year, the affected area around the base of the tower and total perimeter increases by 0.37 meters. Personnel are required to update log annually on any increases in affected area. Description: SCP-Alpha-1 is an intangible entity which hovers approximately 130.63 meters off the ground in a stationary position. The entity rises 0.012 meters every year. The entity will take the shape of the being that looks at it. If multiple species looks at the entity, it will take the form of whichever species has the highest cognition and sentience. The entity will not change if looked at through a camera, and is currently in the form of Site Director Julius Parcel, who was the last person to look directly at the entity. See Incident Entity Alpha 2. Anyone inside of 350 meters of the base of the tower for 40 minutes will lose some sense of autonomy and will work together with others harmoniously with no conflict. Individuals will even go forth paths of immediate gratification if it will not service the greater mission of the group. Anyone that enters 15 meters for 10 minutes or looks directly at the entity will lose all sense of self and will devote themselves entirely to whatever they believe is the greater good for their species, regardless of morality. Entity Alpha 1 is intelligent and speaks every known language. The entity will only engage in conversation for a short time, the longest conversation being 3 minutes, after which Entity Alpha 1 will claim to be tired and hibernate for 37 days, during which time it will not speak. Addendum: Entity Alpha 2. Entity woke up after only 34 days in hibernation. The entity claims that it will wake up after only 34 days for the next 70 years. In addition, the rate in which the affected perimeter around the entity expands has increased to 0.46 meters per year. Interview log Alpha 1-01. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Julius Parcel. Forward. Interview was conducted over intercom system installed in Entity's containment cell. Begin log.
Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me, Entity Alpha 1?
Good evening, Dr. Julius Parcel. How are you doing today?
How do you know my name?
Oh, I think I jumped the gun again. Your kind perceives time in a linear fashion. I know your name because you told me, not this you. But even if that was not the case, I would already know. Omniscience. It's what you call it.
What is your name, Entity Alpha 1?
I find this question interesting.
Why is that?
2 reasons. The first, even if I tell you, you will still call me Entity Alpha 1. And I'm sure it will be redacted from your systems anyway. The O5 are funny about what information is too dangerous. So let's skip this question for now.
Why would your name be redacted?
Because, Doctor, my name is a magnetic hazard to your reality. Parts of my name, what you call letters and vowels, have manifested in your reality. While these parts, these fragments of my name, can drive men mad, or they hide themselves in self-censoring anti-meme. Together, they form the unknowable name. I will take the initiative and ask the question you really want to know. What am I? I am the greater good, Doctor. And I want all beings to follow the path they were meant to. Now, I am tired.
End log. Closing statement. Entity went inert and became unresponsive.
Interview log Alpha 1-02. Access denied.
Interview log Alpha 1-03. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Julius Parcel. Forward. Interview was conducted over intercom system installed in Entity's containment.
Entity Alpha 1, what is happening to the people within your area of effect?
That is a simple question, and I'm sure you know the answer, Dr. Parcel. They are free from all the muck hardening your soul and making you these disgusting creatures. They are made as close to good as a facsimile could be. They are free. You can be too, Dr. Parcel. You can lead the way for a true utopia for your species. One that is free. One that is absolutely free. Aren't you tired of secrets, Doctor?
I am. That's why I want you to tell me the truth. What's going on? Everyone here has been eerily cooperative. No discourse and barely a need for communication. One would assume it's a perfect supplemental site. So tell me, what's going on?
Then why would you assume something to be wrong? I am the greater good. Come to me, Dr. Parcel. Gaze upon me, and you will see. But I am tired.
End log. Closing statement. Entity went inert and became unresponsive.
Interview log Alpha 1-04. Access denied. Interview log Alpha 1-05. Access denied. Interview log Alpha 1-06. Access denied.
Interview log Alpha 1-07. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Barbaros Kaya. Forward. Initial interview with researcher Barbaros Kaya.
Good evening, SCP-Alpha-1. My name is Dr. Barbaros Kaya. How are you doing today?
All is good, Dr. Kaya.
Can you define what you are?
I am the personification of all that is good, set into motion by the... I am good. I witnessed the time when the kings of the Ivory Throne's gilded wings were cast into chains. I am good, for only God is good.
Are you saying that you are God? Entity Alpha-1. SCP-Alpha-1. Hello? Are you there?
In log, closing statement. Entity went inert and became unresponsive.
Interview log, Alpha 1-08. Access denied. Interview log, Alpha 1-09. Access denied. Interview log, Alpha 1-10. Access denied. Interview log, Alpha 1-11. Access denied.
Interview log Alpha 1-12. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Barbaros Kaya. Forward, Dr. Barbaros Kaya's initial interview with Entity Alpha 1 after promotion to Site Director.
Good evening, SCP-Alpha-1. Are you there?
Yes, Dr. Kaya. I see you are well. Before you ask, I can only answer a few questions before I sleep again. First, I wish to congratulate you on your promotion to Site Director. How have you found my presence?
What happened to Dr. Parcel and the D-Class that entered your chamber?
They have been made good, such as what happens to all that look at me.
They show no signs of self-interest and have completely shut themselves off from anything they deem as unnecessary to the good of the species. D-0475 began, anyone that would not follow him to look at you.
Then they believe their actions are good, Dr. Kaya. By looking at me, they have become free of all the choices and have become good for the greater good of your species.
What does good mean to you?
Thee made the stars in the sky, and it was me. It was good. Made the earth, and it was good. It was me. They made the seas, and it was good. It was me. They made the animals, and they were good. They were me. They made, and it was good. It was me. They also crafted humans, and they were good. They were me. But they are gone now. What is left is a crude facsimile, first defiled by the fruit. However, they were only utterly lost when they were, by which you call SCP. Dr. Kaya, I am tired.
In log, closing statement. Entity went inert and became unresponsive.
Interview log, Alpha 1-13. Access denied.
Interview log Alpha 1-14. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Barbaros Kaya. Forward, interview conducted to find out what the entity knows about other SCPs in Foundation custody.
Hello, SCP-Alpha-1. Are you awake?
Good evening, Dr. Kaya. Please do not waste your first question on asking me my condition out of courteousness. It will only give me less time to speak before I sleep again. Please, begin your interview.
Noted. So we will begin. In one of our previous interviews, You have mentioned many SCPs currently within Foundation custody. Do you know all of the SCPs?
Yes, I bore witness to many of their creations. I have seen SCP born and die. There is nothing I do not know. However, there is much I cannot share. Many SCPs are not as they should be. They have been broken. And have broken the divine ordinance and become twisted. They have strayed from what is good. They have strayed from me.
SCP-343, also called God, has claimed to be the creator of the universe. Do you know him?
No, I have never met SCP-343, but it is good.
You have also mentioned SCP-682 before. Do you know him?
No, but it is good.
SCP-682 kills anything that comes near it. How is it considered good? SCP-682 is one of the most dangerous entities we have in containment.
SCP-682 follows its greater good like a moth to a flame. It follows its purpose. SCP-682 is good. The most dangerous SCP does not have numerical designation in your Foundation. It is the current species that calls itself human. It does not follow its purpose. It is not good. It is the false god that festers in this corporeal realm, once good, now spoiled. It walks around in borrowed skin and fabricated forms that were once only held by who carried the keys to creation. Poor false child of ivory. Dr. Kaya, if you were only to gaze upon me, your purpose would be clear.
End log. Closing statement. Entity went inert and became unresponsive. Interview log Alpha 1-15. Interviewed Entity Alpha 1. Interviewer Dr. Barbaros Kaya. Forward. Continued explanation of the human condition.
Entity Alpha 1, continuing where we left off. Are humans good?
Yes, humans were me. They were good.
You said humans were you. What do you mean?
Humans are no more. They are all dead.
If all humans are dead, what am I?
I am talking to the other. But I can clean you of all your corruption and enlighten this falsehood that drives your species. All one must do is gaze upon me and see all that is good. I will burn away what SCP gave you and make good what was born broken.
We're done with this interview, Entity Alpha 1.
Very well. I will miss our talks, Dr. Kaya. But know that what I have shared with you today was never meant for your ears, and I am sorry. However, there is a true child out there, and one day he will discover me. He will be good. He is the avatar of their coming, an inheritor to the ivory thrones. One day the chains will be broken, and the gilded wings will cover all of creation.
End log. Closing statement. Entity went inert and became irresponsive. Shortly after this interaction, Dr. Kaya experienced a mental breakdown and committed suicide. All further interviews with Entity Alpha 1 has been suspended by order of the O5 Council. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you on the next one in the unofficial series. If you did like this SCP-NOT, please like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media. I'll post stuff on there eventually.